Hello everyone, today I'll be sharing some tips and tricks so you can level faster in the pre-patch, but also on the fresh servers. And some of these tips and tricks you might even find useful from 70 to 80. An easy way to get a lot of extra experience is to make sure you kill monsters on your way to a new quest hub, but also to a new zone. I usually do this as a hunter or any melee classes, but I don't find it that useful as a caster because you need to spend a lot of time standing still and cast. By the time that you reach level 20, make sure to head to the mount trainers, because now you will be able to learn the normal ground mount. Back in Burning Crusade, you had to be level 30 for this. And when you reach level 40, you will be able to learn the epic riding skill and epic mount. You can also unlock different discounts by either reaching friendly, honored, revered, or exalted. But you need to remember that the prices for the different mounts and skills has already been lowered by a lot, so it shouldn't be that difficult for you to obtain an epic mount by the time that you reach level 40. When you reach level 60, you will now also be able to learn the normal flying mount. Back in Burning Crusade, you had to be level 70 for this. And what's even better is that the normal mount speed has now been increased from 60% to 150%. This, and because you will be able to start flying at level 60, then you will be able to level so much faster. That's why on a fresh server, you need to save as much gold for level 60 so you can buy this right away. There's also been some changes for how you travel around in Azeroth. These is important to know about so you don't have to spend too much time running in between the different zones. In Menethil Harbor, there used to be a boat that would take you to Darkshore, but this is no longer the case at this location. Instead, there has been added a new boat, and this will take you to Northrend. You will, however, still be able to go to Addon in Darkshore, but this boat is now located in Stormwind City at the Stormwind Harbor. This is a big change because it allows you to go from Stormwind City all the way to Darkshore and then take another boat to either Exodar, the Draenei main city, or the Nasus, the Night Elf main city. Horde has also got a new way of traveling. Outside Orgrimmar City, there's been added a new Zeppelin tower. The Zeppelin closest to us is flying in between Orgrimmar and all the way to Thunderbluff, the Tauren main city, allowing players to travel in between these two main cities without having to cross the Barrens. When you're leveling, you'll most likely find a ton of different items, causing your bags to be completely filled. Therefore, I highly recommend you to buy some bags. You can either purchase these at different vendors, but also on the auction house, or even find a tailor. I know this will be expensive on a fresh server as a low-level character, but then again, the moment you end up destroying just a few items, you could most likely have sold these and covered the price for a bag. Another thing to do is to make sure you group up with people when you need to take care of a quest where there's only gonna be one specific monster dropping this quest item. By grouping up with people, all of you can loot this item, but if you don't group up, you might spend a lot of time waiting for this specific monster to spawn, and then a lot of other people will probably be doing the same, and this could cause you to lose at least 5 to 10 minutes. Also make sure to skip starting zone quests where you need to loot different objects. There will be a high competition for these, and often the respawn time is not instantly. Therefore, I suggest you not to do these quests. Instead, you just need to kill a few monsters before you will cover the experience you would have gained by completing the quest. I usually don't recommend people to spend money on the auction house, but as a melee character or a hunter, it might sometimes be useful on a fresh server. Also because some of these weapons you will be able to get for almost the same price as vendor price. In most cases you will have to pay a bit extra, but then again you also have a current weapon equipped that you can vendor. So even though you end up losing a bit of silver buying the new weapon, then you will also be able to level a lot faster. And the faster that you level, the faster you will also be filling your bags with new items that you can vendor, making you able to level faster and grind more gold. Next up, I will cover some helpful add-ons that will improve your leveling. The first add-on that I recommend you to get is Leatrix Plus. Here you can for example enable the automate quest. This will instantly pick up new quests, but also instantly hand them in. And don't worry, if there's a quest reward, you will not automatically do this. You will still need to choose a reward. This add-on can also automatically repair your gear, so you don't forget this when you're leveling. It will also sell all the junk items that you find, and you don't need to worry about selling these because they're not used in any professions or quests. Another amazing thing is the opportunity to increase your maximum zoom. So now you can zoom out way further, and that way you might also be able to spot and track different quest items a lot easier. You can also enable vendor prices, so when your box is full and you find a new item, then you know what to throw away for that specific item. This will in the end save you a bit of gold and hopefully make you able to get your mount a bit faster. Talking about your bags, then I also have to highlight the add-on Bagnon. In other words, this is an add-on where you see all of the bags at the same time, so instead of being in separate windows, this is now one big bag. When you're in the open world, you can even track what you have in the bank, and you can also choose between different characters, so you don't need to log on to another character to see what you have on that specific one. One of the features that I like the most is that you can clean up your bags. So now it will try to categorize things, but also stack up items. So if you have 2 of the same items in your inventory, but they're not already stacked, then it will do this automatically. In the interface, you can find the control section, and here you will be able to enable and disable auto loot. By enabling this, you can right click on a target to loot all the different items. If you don't enable these, you'll need to hold down shift and right click. Having enabled auto loot will save you a bit of time when you're questing. Another handy add-on is Leatrix Map, an add-on where you will be able to change the scale of your map. At the same time, you will also be able to see all of the zone even though you haven't explored it yet. And there's also a green arrow indicating where you need to head in case you would like to go into another nearby zone. You can also see the graveyards, flight masters, and even where you need to head to travel with the different boats and zeppelins to another zone. In Wrath of the Lich King, there will now be a quest toolbar by default, but you can't really customize and change anything. This is however not the case with the add-on Questie, because this add-on allows you to customize a lot of different things. At the same time, this add-on will also show you the exact location for where you need to loot different items, but also different enemies you need to slay. It will also tell you new locations you can head to in order to pick up even more quests, and at the same time also secret quests, so for example different items you can interact with in order to start a quest. If you struggle with your leveling, so for example don't know where you need to go next, what you need to do in a certain quest, and other tips and tricks, then I recommend you to add on RestedXP. This add-on will have different leveling guides for Horde and Alliance from 1 to 70, and in Wrath of the Lich King there will also be a level 1 to 80 guide. The reason why I always use this add-on when I'm leveling a character is because it's so organized and well made. It will simply tell you exactly what quest you need to do and in which order. It will even tell you when you need to vendor, purchase new spells, and even change your Hearthstone location. So put on your favorite music and follow the guide for some chill leveling. If you would like to try this add-on, then you can download the free trial version on the webpage. I will leave a link to this in the description below the video. Before I get back to some more tips and tricks for your leveling, then I will be talking about the last add-on that I like to use. This is WeaponSwingTimer, an add-on that will indicate when you will be doing your next auto attack with a melee or ranged weapon. Why this add-on is so powerful is because when you're waiting for your next auto attack, you can be running away from a monster, avoiding a lot of damage, because if you just stand close to this enemy, you'll be taking a lot of damage whenever you wait for a next auto attack. It will probably take a bit of time before you get used to this, but when you start to master this, it will have a huge impact on how fast you will be able to level, also because now you will be able to run from one location to another one and auto attack monsters on your way. When you're leveling, make sure to pick up First Aid. First Aid will allow you to craft bandages, and these you can use to heal yourself. Even as a healer, it might be useful if you're low on mana. Another big reason for why I'm leveling up First Aid is because I can make a profit with this profession. So here's an example. Instead of rendering Mageweave cloth for 50 silver, you can convert this into bandages and make a profit of 30 silver for every single stack. So on a fresh server, make sure to check the auction house for the cloth. People are desperate for gold and they will undercut each other and sometimes sell the cloth for almost the same as the vendor price. For those of you who plan to level on a fresh PvP server, then I highly recommend you to skip Strangleform Whale unless you would like to farm a bit of honor. In this zone there will be a lot of world PvP, and if you play on a server that is faction dominated by the other faction, then you will most likely spend a lot of hours running to your corpse. So I recommend you to skip this zone. Instead you could for example head to Desolate, Thousand Needles, or even Dustwallow Marsh. You could also head to the dungeon Scarlet Monastery, and in this dungeon you will be able to level from around 28 and all the way up to 44. What will also slow you down is to level up professions, for example main professions like blacksmithing, leatherworking, enchanting, and so on. Leveling up these professions will require you to gather materials. These you can either farm yourself or purchase on the auction house, And you also need to remember that you will not be able to purchase anything on the auction house in the beginning because you have no gold. You could always level up a gather profession like mining, herbalism or skinning, because these materials you can either vendor or you could also try to sell them on the auction house and make a profit. Just remember that every time you decide to level up your professions, it will also take you longer to reach level 70, and I guess some of you would like to reach level 70 on the fresh servers before the release of Wrath the Lich King. In my opinion, it might be better to just level a bit fast in the beginning, and by the time that you reach level 40 and you can get your epic mount, then you can start doing the gather professions. When you're leveling, always make sure to use your Hearthstone. This will allow you to save a lot of travel time, and the cooldown should only be 30 minutes, where in Burning Crusade it used to be 1 hour. If you have a cooldown on your Hearthstone and you're level 10 or lower, then you can always die, talk to the spirit healer, and get no resurrection sickness. Just make sure to always check if there's a nearby spirit healer close to where you hand in the different quest. But yeah, that's also about it for this video. In case you would like to see more Wrath the Lich King classic guides, but also fresh guides, then make sure to check out the channel or subscribe for more future content. As always, thank you for watching and have an amazing day. Peace.